Welcome to Mindfully Integrative Podcast with your host, Dr. Damaris G. Mindfully Integrative is a podcast discussing ways toward mindfully incorporating integrative health into our lives. This podcast will have informative resources, fun topics, interviews, and discussions relatable for today with a true mindful perspective in a mind-body, holistic life approach.
Hi, how are you? This is Dr. Damaris Maria Grossman, and this is the Mindfully Integrative Show. And today we have a great and wonderful chat with Arehn McCarty. She is Soulprint Journeys. She is a spiritual and balance between the science and spirituality and kind of where she is now and what she's doing for herself, her family, and for others. I can't wait for you guys to learn more about her and what she can do to help impact your health. Hi, how are you?
Hey, thanks. I'm really glad to be here.
Yeah, I'm so glad we were able to get into the chat. You know, like we said, we had to reschedule, but I'm glad it kind of came in time. So
Absolutely.
How is everything? You know, first, I always ask a quick fun fact about.
Yeah. So quick fun fact. The year that our youngest son was going off to college, we gave away most everything we had, and we bought a big teardrop trailer, and we spent 9 months, the 9 months previous to COVID, like the end of our trip was like when COVID hit, traveling North America and living way out in the forest on Forest Service land, and we'd see people maybe once a week. So it was definitely a great way for my husband and I to kind of reconnect after being parents for 24 years.
Oh, yeah. And not, you're disconnected, but connected as husband.
Yeah. So busy with other things.
Right.
Yeah. We had 125 square feet and sometimes we had another tent that we had an outdoor kitchen and things, but it was tight, and it was really wonderful to spend that time together.
Oh, that's really great. I remember when I just did a van, did the cross country, but I didn't go that long. I did about a month or two.
That's nice too.
Yeah, but that's great. I can only imagine you glamped it better than I did. I was like in this
it was definitely sweet. Yeah.
Yeah.
We were in our 50s. So, it was kind of like, okay, we're going to take it easy. And we were still working from the road. Like we had solar, and we had a satellite Wi-Fi kind of thing. Yeah.
Yeah, I would definitely glamp it the next time. I'm not going to even lie. I'm not doing what I did last time. Yeah, I think that kind of gives you such a connection to what you need and what you don't need. I mean, that's how it was for me, and I bet that was probably for you. I was just like, wow, I really don't need that much.
Yeah. And kind of where do we want to be too? We were at a place, like I said, our children were both gone from the house, and it kind of made us think like, let's check out other places in the country. Where would we like to live? And then of course we came back to Oregon, and we said, yeah, we want to be in Oregon.
Oh, okay. Are you guys from Oregon?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. My husband grew up, or like he's from here. I moved here in 1990.
Where were you from before?
I grew up in Illinois.
Oh, such a difference.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah. I was born an Oregonian, but happened to have been raised in Illinois.
Oh.
My spirit was definitely belonging to Oregon.
Oh, very cool. Yeah, people do tell me that they love Oregon once they go. They don't like to leave.
Yeah.
So I have you on the podcast to kind of talk about, your balance that you've been talking about from science and spirituality and just your overall health stuff. How did this come about for you?
Well, I've kind of always been a seeker. Like I've always kind of been looking for, I'm curious. I have a curious personality. And so it sort of has evolved in my understanding, but that kind of deep connection to spirit has definitely moved me on the path and increased my trust in it. I think that the whole sort of creative process that I teach is about having a vision, having a clear destination. Where is it that I want to be, and using that as sort of a magnetic pull to my future self. And another part of that is sort of putting those the feelings that I'm wanting to have. Because anytime you want something, you're really wanting the feelings that you think you're going to get when you get that thing. And so to start feeling those feelings when I put that vision, when I put the vision in my mind of the future that I want, to really feel, what does that feel like? And then trusting that the universe, I've been reading this great book called This Thing Called You, by Ernest Holmes. And in it, he has this term, enthusiastic anticipation. And it's enthusiastic anticipation of the results of the universe supporting your vision and bringing it about. And so I think in my practice of slowly putting that on, it's easy for me to step into that enthusiastic anticipation. I know that this is going to manifest, or that it's really already manifest in the spiritual realm, and it's my job as a human being to kind of make it happen. I have to do the action. I have to do the work to make it happen in the physical world.
Yeah, no, that's beautiful. It's beautifully said, because I think there's your purpose is there, and now you're manifesting it into where you need it to be, or where you want it to be, like you were saying. I was going to
talk about Soulprint. So
yes,
a lot of times people don't know what that is.
I know, it's such a cool name.
So the thing is, you are unique in the entire history of creation, right? There's never been anyone like you. And there never will be anyone like you. And so your Soulprint is that unique constellation that makes you at this moment right now. So all of your experiences you've had, whether you'd label good or bad, have some gift to give you, to bring you to the healthy you now. Your talents, the things that you're innately good at or really enjoy, the things that you love to do, all of those things come together to make your Soulprint. So what you enjoy doing, the fields that, being a nurse, or doing the podcast where we're just, obviously you enjoy talking to people and hearing their stories. So that uniqueness and how we implement it in the world, how do you actually take your unique constellation and make the imprint on the planet? So I think a lot of us have lived many years sort of smaller than we need to be, or much smaller than we could be. And so I don't know if that word right, but I think you know what I mean. We're here to shine that light. We're here to be the physical expression of that divine energy. And so, the universe wants us to make those bold, huge soul prints on the world. I'm not sure.
I like that. No, I like the print. I mean, it's beyond just like a DNA conversation, right? You're looking, the science part, yes, but yet you're looking at that step beyond, like this energetic and our purpose, our soul purpose.
Yeah. And then the journey, of course, is that you're walking it, and it's a progress and a path that we're taking together.
Ever evolving.
There's always the now, moves along the timeline.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that makes sense. So how, and then you were saying that you have other, like an additional health journey that kind of got you on this path of being a soul print, manifester. Like,
I think it's part of it. Yeah. It's sort of sorry.
Oh, no, it's okay.
It's it's just one of those. I feel like in the work that I do, it's really important for me to stay current and be the person that I'm welcoming my clients to be, right? So living that example and living those principles and doing the work. So when I used to teach PE many years ago, and when I stopped teaching PE, I started gaining weight. And then we traveled and I did a lot of walking, but I didn't lose any weight. And COVID hit and we were in our house for a couple years. And again, I had gained even more weight. And I just got to this place. My husband is a high level ultimate frisbee player for his age. He was going to nationals in the summer, and that's February maybe. I thought, oh no, I'm going to go to nationals. I'm going to be surrounded by all these elite athletes and their wives, and I made a decision that day to that I was going to lose weight. And I think until you actually make a decision for something, it has this kind of like, because I had thought, oh, I need to lose weight. I'd like to lose weight. I need to eat less. I need to walk more, all those things, right? We know what we should do. But until we make that decision, really say this is going to happen and have that enthusiastic anticipation that, I'm making the decision, I'm taking the steps, it's going to happen, and start to bringing that. So in the process of this, I started walking. I got on a phone app to kind of help my keep track of things, and I started losing weight, and it was fairly easy. And then I had started doing some chats on Facebook with other people who were kind of in the same position and the same age. And they were talking about how hard it is to lose weight when you're my age and all of the things how it couldn't work. And I found that I completely plateaued. Like weeks went by and nothing. I was, walking 10,000 steps. I was eating 1,200 calories. I was, and what I realized was I wasn't putting what I teach into action in my own life. Here I am, the example, and I wasn't doing it. And so I started to put on the image of that I wanted that July when we went to nationals. I wanted to be energetic. I wanted to feel this lift in my step, to be fit, to look cute in the shorts that I was planning on wearing. And I started really visualizing who that was. And when I would go on my walks, I had that kind of lift and energy that I was desiring. And when I would catch myself, in our minds, when we think, okay, I'm going to wear this outfit, we haven't put it on. I'm not looking in the mirror, but I'm thinking about it. I found that I was imagining myself in a heavier body, probably heavier than I even was at the time, but I had this image of the person that I used to be, or even a heavier version of that person, and what I would look like in the sweater or the pants or whatever. And so I started to catch myself and see myself in the body that I wanted, putting those clothes on. And that shift just made the whole rest of the journey super easy. The weight just came off, and I not only reached the goal that I was hoping for, which was the goal that I had, for many years when I was teaching PE, I was a certain weight. But when I was teaching PE, I wanted to be another 7 pounds less than that. And I could never get there. I just plateaued. I was just at that weight for years and years, which was fine. But then I kept going this time to finally get to that goal that I hadn't had since before I had children. So, and it's been more than a year now.
Excellent.
And it's easy, but I really think that having that vision in your mind of who you are and what you look like really shifts. I think that if I saw myself as a heavier person or someone who's not active and vibrant, that I make different choices. And having that, that person that I was imagining myself to be, it helped me to make the choices that got me there.
You took those actionable steps and then you realized, for me to get to this point, I I have to be mindful of what's being put in my body. And then you also just, sounds like you had a real change in your like image and your body image and your overall self-love of what is the right thing. Because I think we kind of don't give ourselves enough credit of where we're at for that moment is okay. And then as you've grown and where you are happy, this is where you're at today too. So I think it's, being okay with, where you're at in each of those stages was profound.
Yeah, I think that's huge to really enjoy who you are. And I was thinking about when you're in a romantic relationship, what I believe works really well in a romantic relationship is respect of that person. You have a respect for who they are and their character and what they do and their work or whatever. But to turn that around and to have it reflected back at yourself as well is as essential as your feelings about your partner. It's just as important to have those same feelings of respect for yourself. And so to find a life that you feel proud of, that you feel you like yourself, at the end of the day, when you're like, wow, I really like myself. When you look in the mirror, that you can see somebody wonderful and beautiful that you enjoy being with, I think is really, really important.
Self-care and self-love are so paramount into growth in many aspects of health. And as you can have seen and learned from, you can't, and every time you get into like a roadblock, it's probably us, right? It's our inner self going,
exactly.
Hey, what's up?
Absolutely.
Or, our own things. I can only imagine. Are you also now helping a lot of clients too, in addition with your method, and just because of your journey that you
so I'm a coach. I do my work is generally course related. So there's like a block of time, like a 3-month course or a 6-month course, and then I have the the VIP year courses where we just are with each other for the whole year. But and I love watching what happens, because I think that my clients I'm not opposed to having men, but all of my clients are women. That's just kind of how it's worked out. And I think especially with women, we have given our lives lovingly to other causes other than ourselves shining. So our children, our spouses, our parents, we are the caregivers most often. And, I think it's super important, as we talked about self, value, to really take an honest look at what makes your heart sing, what you would really love in your life. And that can be parenting. That could, can easily be, it's one of my proudest accomplishments is being a mother. But I think it's important and often to take that time out to kind of, okay, what is it right now in this moment that I would love to bring more of in my life? And whether that's love, maybe the relationship aspect of things, or more time that I really want to be able to be more efficient with my time and do the things that I would love to do. Whether that's manifesting. I was telling you before our call about manifesting this house. So my husband and I really dreamed of a house that we wanted. We wanted to be out of town in the woods. We were looking at 2 to 3 acres, and we were looking at houses, and we had a certain price range that we felt super comfortable in. And we actually put an offer on a house that didn't go through. Like we went way over 135,000 over asking cash offer, and we didn't get the house. And it kind of made us think, okay, what is it that what's going on here? What is the universe telling us? And we were given the chance to buy the house, and we said, actually, no, we we don't want it. It's not what we would love. And we started asking, what would we love? What would we love? What would we really, really love? Not just what would work, but if I could wave a magic wand, what would I love? And then we found this place, and it's a very large house. It's a lodge, beautifully crafted on 13 acres of old growth forest. And it's way beyond anything we could have possibly imagined. And it's shifted, I believe, who I feel I am in the world.
Great.
Like my confidence in myself, just being here in this space. And so I'm not sure what I was starting to talk. I got really far off on conversation.
I think what you're discussing is your own journey and then this house has kind of opened up another like level for you. And
so aspects, that we were. There's different aspects that you could envision, and it's really important for people to take the time and really feel what would they love and get past the littleness that we put on ourselves in those dreams. Like we were dreaming for this house. We were like, okay, we could have 2 to 3 acres, and we could have this little house that had one communal space. And we've done the tiny thing. So we know that we could live in a smaller space. But this one I'm opening up for retreats, and I really feel like I'm a steward of this property, and to bring in people to have transformational experiences, to have time in solitude in the forest, to meditate and be in the woods. And I really want to have it be a place where people can come and heal. And that was not on my little tiny list of what can I have. It had to be, what would I love? And so getting past that is a big thing that I do with clients, of getting past the what can I do? What should I do? But into what makes you come alive? What when you think of it, you go, yes, that's what I want. That sort of feeling.
They're taking their vision or their thoughts and really making it tangible, or whatever that is for them. That's really important. I also love that you have this space now that, like you said, you're a steward of the healing process for someone. Nature in itself is beyond spiritual and grounding. And not everybody gets that aspect. And to be able to have that as an opportunity, or even as these retreats that you may be doing, or that's cool. That's going to be great. I'm always going to those. Before the pandemics, I was very avid to those retreat spots, because as a meditator and as someone that needed mindfulness throughout my entire necessity, and nature as necessity, as I explained, and you probably are, people need it. It's just too busy. They need to unplug and get out of the stuff. I mean, not even though this is a podcast, it's like I'm like, okay, stop listening.
Go outside.
Here's a story, but you know what? And then go and do nothing for a little bit.
I think the idea of forest bathing, like the idea of being in all of that life energy, having that surrounding you. And I think that in the city, we sort of lose we lose a part of us, and it's easy to kind of stay in the flow of the day goes by, and we're doing that, and we're busy, and I think it's only really when we are back out in nature and we're like, oh my gosh, I totally forgot how this feels, how alive I feel in this space, and what it does for us energetically.
Oh, it's so important, because I was saying, in the mindfulness and trying to find the inner piece, when you can go into those nature and the forest bathing, it takes it to another level. It expands you beyond, because even, my at-home practice doesn't take me when I go into these environments, like you're saying, of that expansiveness, because that's when I'm probably at my ultimate, clearing, at the clearest moments. because you're just so grounded. It gets you
Yeah.
that and the, nature, the nature aspects. Because the city, I feel like it's just so much consumed energy.
Right. Right. And I think that, like you were saying, just nature itself. I mean, I think that you can find that peace in a flower,
Right.
like a plant, that you can really still have that energy communication with that one being too. Yeah. So if you are in the city, then
there is aspects, but I completely think that it takes it to another level, and it's almost like, all right, guys, let's see if you can go 10 minutes, hour out of wherever you are. I'm not just saying that the cities are, because you can find peace in the chaos. I talk about that a lot, but I think that it's kind of going to this other level of just expansiveness.
Yeah.
Oh, I really loved you being on the show. Is there anything additionally you'd like to share with the audience, or a thought?
I think, the one thing that I really wanted to bring, which I think I did at the beginning, but I'll kind of say it again so people can have this to go away with, is the process that I teach about and hold people in is developing a vision. I mean, these are all things that you can do by yourself. I just sort of help people to stay in that.
Guide. People need guidance.
Yeah. So having a vision, creating something of what you would love. I mean, it's your brain, right? It's your vision. So you can make it however you want to. Having this vision and then putting the feelings that you're wanting when you are living that life right now, to start, in your mind, feeling the joy of living in the woods, feeling the sense of belonging and love that you're looking for in a partner. All of those things, you can put those feelings on and begin to feel them. And then have this enthusiastic anticipation that the universe is bringing that to you. Those three aspects, I really, make it manifest. If you practice those things, you will have whatever it is that your heart is saying yes to.
We're going to leave that there, where your heart is saying yes to, and manifest. Thank you so much for your time and for your wonderful words. It's really appreciative.
Thank you.
And I want to thank all those watching and listening. Thank you for your time and your effort, and appreciate your time here. And I hope that you check out Arehn McCarty on her website. I'll have her notes in there, but it's Soulprint Journeys. And I want you guys to check her out, because you might need to manifest something more in your life. We all need a little bit more nature and a little bit more love. So make sure that you find a mindful way each and every day. And thank you again, Arehn. I appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thank you for listening to the Mindfully Integrative Show with Dr. Damaris Maria Grossman, family nurse practitioner. This podcast is for informational and educational purposes only and is not to substitute for professional medical advice, diagnose, or treat. Always consult your healthcare provider before making changes to your healthcare routine. Make sure to subscribe so you don't miss an episode. If you enjoyed our show, please support us by leaving a mindful review on Apple Podcasts or your favorite streaming platform. Interested in being a guest or more information? Email us at info@mindfullyintegrative.com. For resources mentioned in the show, visit our website at www.mindfullyintegrative.com. You can also connect mindfully with Dr. Damaris on her social media links found on the site. May your strength and peace guide you to find a mindful way every day. Namaste.